Hello ladies and gents, and welcome back to another fabulous week of English 235. This week we're going to head into our writing descriptions and definitions, which is very exciting. Yay! First big project of the quarter. I can tell you're all pumped. So this week we're going to be working on that. You've got a great chapter in our Markle text about writing descriptions, which I think you'll find beneficial as we start talking about this type of process writing. So we've got our technical description paper coming up. If we go into our class and pop into the assignments tab, where all of the big stuff is located, we'll be writing our technical description paper. And this marks kind of a midway point, guys. This is our fourth major assignment of the term. We have 8 major assignments, and so if you're good at math, we're like almost 50% of the way done with the big stuff. So, woohoo, that's exciting. We're all just on cloud 9 today, right guys? It's a good Monday. Awesome. All right, so our technical description assignment, once again, the amazing Professor Bob Peterson and I designed an alternative website that contains all the information you're going to need for this. Really walks you through the whole process, assignment guidelines. We are going to be creating a technical description paper. So this has a couple different features. We want at least one 3-part formal definition. You guys are pros at this already. Remember when you defined a tumbleweed? Same kind of thing, right? We need to talk about the category something falls in, its defining characteristics, all that good stuff. We want at least 3 figures. Figures means that you're using an image within the text, and so those can be pictures that you take. Those could be pictures that you find online. They could be charts or graphs or something of that nature as well. Do remember that if you're using anything that you did not personally create, you need to cite it in APA style. So make sure you're doing that. I've got all of that citation stuff linked for you here as well to help you out. Because you are going to also want to have a works cited page at the bottom if you are using somebody else's images. I do have a great example for you here of a shaker screen. I grew up in Montana, and there's a lot of people who are kind of into mining for sure, but gold mining a little bit has its own following and culture there. So a shaker screen is something that a gold miner might look for if they're panning for gold. And so if you're standing in a stream and you're sifting through all of the rocks and dirt and stuff at the bottom looking for little nuggets of gold, you would use a shaker screen to find stuff. You can also use it for a bunch of other things. Paleontologists use it, archaeologists, all that good stuff. So a general description of shaker screen. We've got our 3-part definition here. And then we give a little bit more general description. Think about that as the paragraph that you wrote in your descriptive writing. You had the 3-part definition, and then you further defined one of your terms in a paragraph. This general description can function as that paragraph. Then you're going to go ahead and break it down into its component pieces, telling me more about each one. So it is helpful to have images here so that you can label them and talk through the different pieces of your project. For every image you use, you do need to format it in APA style. So this is going to have a title here, and then you're going to find that you have a figure heading. So for as many images as you use, you need to use at least 3. Figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, and then a little short description of what the item is. If you are using some image that somebody else created, a citation will also go in this figure heading. See that we've broken this down. We discussed the legs, we've got a picture of those, we discussed the handles, and then we talk about how this thing operates, how do people use it, and then we've got a picture of the thing in use. And then we have our references because, of course, I didn't take this picture. I got it from a source, and so I'm going to put that source here. This is one example of this kind of descriptive document. Now, what you can do to save yourself time, if you want to, is that you could create potentially a general description of the thing you've already defined in your descriptive writing, if that works. If you're describing something big and complicated, that's not going to work here. But if you're describing a pen, that could work. The biggest thing I can tell you about being successful in this particular assignment is that you want to pick something simple. Simple is key. If you pick something too complex, this descriptive document is going to be 50 pages long. So you want something nice and simple, like a pen. I could break this down. I could talk about the cap for a little while. I talk about the body of the pen. I could talk about the ballpoint apparatus and the ink that's attached to it. And that would be a nice descriptive paper. That paper is probably 2.5, 3 pages long. Now, if I picked something complicated, like a cell phone, and I wanted to tell people how a cell phone worked, that would be pages and pages and pages and pages, right? So pick something simple. I'm sitting at my desk and I'm looking around. I'm like, I could talk about this very exciting desk fan, right? Talk about its parts. That's pretty easy. So easy is better for this one. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Simplicity is key because otherwise you're going to have a huge document and nobody wants that, because you don't want to write it. And I have to grade a bunch of these, so I honestly don't want to read 50 pages of you telling me how a cell phone works. Because as long as it turns on and I can text people, I don't care. I do care. But for the sake of this assignment, pick something simple. The more complicated you pick, the longer this document's going to be. I do want to call your attention to, we are not doing the peer review in this method. So just ignore that. I will have peer review set up for us in Canvas in the discussion boards, which is much easier to navigate than on this website. I tried something new. The website is not great for peer reviews. So we're going to go back to Canvas and do it there. But we've got some great details for you here. If you're having a hard time deciding what you want to talk about, I have a list of ideas. Like I said, simple is better. We've got lots of simple things. I mean, look at just a pencil. All of the different ways we could break that down and talk about it. If you're in the medical field, you could talk about a simple needle. Lots of easy things to talk about. Nice and simple things. Different ways we can break down information in terms of description, shape, size, color, texture, position, all of that. We want to use really specific word choice here. And I think you'll find that that's very helpful. We do want to avoid plagiarism. This is one of our first assignments where plagiarism kind of crops up. And I know I'm talking to the choir here. I'm preaching to the choir. You guys would never plagiarize. You'd never copy anything. You have brilliant minds and you're brilliant writers. And of course, everything you do is your own. But just in case, like it's 11:30 the night it's due, and you're like, maybe it would be easier if I copied. No, don't copy. It's bad. Super easy to spot most of the time. Also, everything you turn in goes through a software called Turnitin that checks for plagiarism across the web and highlights where you got things and sends me a link to the place where you got it. So just don't plagiarize and we'll be set. And then if you want to take your own photos, absolutely do that. Please feel free. If you don't have the thing and you want to still describe it, then of course you can find photos online. Just do make sure to cite them, and I've got some help how to cite things here. So lots of great resources for you here. As I said before, ignore tab 5. That's just about the peer review. We're going to be doing that through Canvas. So ignore that one. For those of you who are not watching the video, you're going to be confused. Maybe if you even look at the website. I don't know. The people who watch the video, you guys are doing fabulous work. You're turning things in. You're making sure you know exactly what you need to do. You are doing an excellent job. And I am so appreciative of your grit and determination to be successful in this class. I've got some software that lets me see who's viewing the videos. And those of you who are watching them, super kudos. You guys are rock stars. Give yourself a pat on the back, a little congratulatory hug if you want. You're doing good work. So we've got our technical description there. I've got a technical description lesson that links you to the same thing. And then a template. If you like using templates, I've got that built in for you there. And we will be doing the peer review in class, as I've noted here. And so that's going to be in the discussion boards. If you go into the modules tab, I have some helpful stuff here. So let me show you real quick. Technical descriptions. I've got a PowerPoint where we walk through the different pieces, how you might put this together. I have that template I talked about. I defined and described a baseball cap. Very exciting stuff. And then I've got some samples for you here as well. So check those out. I think you're going to find that's really, really helpful. If you're having a hard time figuring out how to incorporate images, I've got some help for you here. Elements of design, graphics, stuff like that. Here's how to cite digital images in APA style. And then if you like brainstorming, there is a bubble map generator, which is kind of cool. The way I like to do this is I put the thing I want to define in the middle, and then I start breaking it down in its pieces, and then it's more detailed pieces from there. And so I'm really easily able to see how to describe something, what kind of things I might need to define, what things would be helpful to have an image maybe. If it's really hard to describe, maybe an image would help. And so this kind of bubble mapping can be really beneficial. Just another way that you can process your ideas. So this website's really fun if you like outlining or brainstorming. Great thing to go with. So if you have any questions, as always, let me know. You guys are doing great work, honestly, so far. Really just a pleasure and a privilege to be your instructor this quarter as we're almost hitting this halfway point. I do like to keep these videos under 10 minutes. Didn't quite make it today. It's 11 minutes. So have a great day, guys. If you have questions, reach out. I'm here to help. I'm looking forward to seeing what you create. Have a great day.